tried to make a video this morning and I was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna hit the 100K mark. We're only $900 short." And then I jinxed it. So whatever. We're close. It's still May 28th, so we have some time to see that come to fruition here. It's vanity number, really. Again, it's for the employees. It's for recruiting. It's for getting people excited about what we're doing. It's not for me. If we get a deal to close 3 days later, it's all arbitrary. All we know is directionally correct. We're in the ballpark of where we wanted to hit. So we're like 95. And then allegedly there's a deal closing right now. So just recapping where we're at in the business so far and the progress that we've made. I think the closer's adequately ramped. I'm out of the sales calls day to day. However, I'm on the onboarding calls now. The bottleneck just moves with every debottleneck that you implement, the constraint moves. So yeah, we have some stuff that we're going to do. I'm thinking we just run harder, just break more stuff and just kind of see where the weaknesses are. So let's pack the calendar. Let's stress them out with the close stuff and then see if I enjoy that as well. And then probably just outsource it as an onboarding task. I just need to find someone that has the gift of gab and then just follows a script. There's a difference between presenting and closing. Like professional presenters are able to have the gift of gab and they articulate everything and they hit all the points and it flows and it's beautiful and they use all the tonality. And then you have closers, which is everything that happens after that point in the presentation where it's hand-to-hand combat. It's a knife fight with handling objections and identity and all of those different things that come up. That's closing. So up until you say price, you're presenting. And then after you say price, you're closing. Closing is obviously the more valuable skill set, but I don't even think I need a closer per se. Like maybe I can develop that skill. More so, I just want to find someone that's able to present the 41-page long document when they get onboarded. And then it's just, oh yeah, you just click this and this is where this is. And this is all the resources that you have. That way I can get out of the onboarding stuff and just focus on stuff that scales. And then I was thinking about bringing in a sales agency. It's just, then you have somebody else making decisions. Like I can't just turn on a dime and then we're raising the prices tomorrow. And then everyone's like, yeah, no. So we have to have some sort of stability there. But really, they say you have to get to a minimum 100 a month, and then you can bring in a sales agency, get those guys on, and then they take 20% off the top, and then you just let them run it. I don't have a good talent acquisition method right now. Like it's all been serendipitous, and anybody that I've seen do that's not a recipe for success. You know what I mean? You have to view it like marketing. Plus, we don't have that much capital to deploy to actually hire a bunch of people. So commission-based only is cool. I think we just stack the calendar as much as possible and then try to break stuff. I literally want it to be too packed. I think that's the goal. And then we start adding in friction. And then we throw in capacity, which is another rep. I think setting goals for each month is a vanity metric. But hey, it is called the $0 to $1 million month series. Speed running it, how would we do it as fast as possible? So one, we need more videos in the course. We need an outbound workspace. We need a GEO workspace. We need more ads. We need someone to be hired to do the onboarding. I think if we accomplish those things over the next 30 days, that won't look like a huge uptick in revenue right away, but probably pretty smart to have that. And then clear contracts, clear terms, better process. And then honestly, what I need to do myself is start using AI as much as possible in the business. Even though I haven't mapped it all, and I'm like 10% of what we could be doing with AI, which is nuts. And we have to just practice what we preach and do it ourselves so that people can see that it can be done. One-man engineering. We'll see where it takes us. I think we're in a good spot. There's always a lot of problems and anxiety and stuff that comes up, but I think there's good moves on the board. And as long as I feel that there's good moves on the board, then I'm fine. I like that everything is figure outable. And that's what's important. Also rolled out more advanced training for the community. We'll see if that backfires. I find myself filtering stuff and dumbing things down a lot because I just know how overwhelmed people can get very quickly. And honestly, I might just stop doing that. I might just start making content for me on the other side of this screen watching this and just speaking. I'm honestly doing it now. This is not for anybody. It's for, if you're seeing this, I did it. I made $1 million a month or maybe. Yeah. $1 million a month isn't that hard. Because the content that I'm going to consume too is just people doing that. There's people doing 10 million a month and you're like, oh. And the thing is, that's 100 times more than what I'm doing right now. But do they have 100 times the skill or knowledge or no, they probably have more. They probably have stuff. but I don't. They know things I don't. They have teams of people. I can't know it all. Like, even if they're 20 times better, it's like, hey, so you're telling me I could 5x right now? Tell me 500 a month is within my capabilities. So just getting really clear on identity and who you want to be is another thing, because a lot of people have this notion that identity is self-generated and that's all that matters. Identity is negotiated with the environment, because you're 4 years old, you think you're the smartest and the best and the brightest, and you're going to be president and an astronaut and a cowboy. And then someone calls you weird. And then you're like, oh, right, okay, maybe I'm not the funniest dude in the world, or maybe I'm not the smartest or the most handsome. And it's a negotiation with your environment of who you are, what's acceptable. And that's something a lot of psychologists agree on, where your environment and you are in this dance at all times of who you say you are. And then you get a feedback loop from the environment, and it either affirms or denies that identity. So this notion that it is a self-conception purely and it has no environmental factor is just not how that works whatsoever. And you can see that with addiction and studies like that. They did a study on a bunch of people that were doing heroin in Vietnam, and then they came back home and they didn't have the habit. One of the most addictive, destructive drugs that is impossible to kick, yet the majority of people kick the habit. And it's because the environment isn't working on you. And you can do it in subtle ways. You can see the environment mess with you if you really want to do it. Like, you rearrange furniture, you move your trash can or something in your house, your brain is automatically associating the environment and telling you who you are, what's going on, where everything is. And that's how you orient yourself in the world. That's where you get all your triggers and your cues. And it's very important to curate your environment so that the willpower necessary to actually accomplish your goals, you're not in an uphill battle. I'm going to stack the deck again any way I can so that the good habits are easy, the bad habits are hard. And then the identity, though, the identity is good here, where I'm exposing myself to people that are like, oh yeah, I do $1 million a month, so the way that I do $1 million, and they just talk about it so casually to where it just makes sense. And it's not that hard. You know what I mean? Like, I can feel the pull in my head. It's jarring, because it's like, on one end, I want to talk on these videos as if I know what I'm doing, so that if I do come across someone that's doing like 10 million a month, they go, oh, that guy's smart, I could help him out. And I also want to be like grounded for some reason, like in the environment, because I see someone making $3,000 a month and then they're like, you're out of touch. Just like where you came from and where you're going. And yeah, it's just interesting to have the metacognition to watch yourself do stuff. And you're like, because the temptation is, now that we did 100, it's okay, now we got to 100 and now we're just going to stabilize and polish, right? Which is weird, right? Like, where's that instinct? Because let's say you had gone from $0 to $10 million 3 times over in 3 different ventures or whatever, and now you're starting your 4th. Your first $100 month feels like it's just, okay, yeah, let's get to 200. You're not adjusting to the altitude of the number. You're just like, that number is down here, I'm going to go here. And for me, full transparency, I can feel that, where it's like, I want to smooth things. And I think that's an illusion. That's a self-conception based off of the environment and the identity that's giving me that feedback. So it's like, all right, what's the alternative then? And I think maybe I just start thinking, okay, if I made 3 $10 million companies back to back to back, and this is my 4th and I'm at 100K a month, what would be my next steps? And then it changes everything I said in the beginning of this video, which is like, oh, we got to like efficiency. Nah, what efficiency? There's going to be no efficiency ever. Efficiency is an illusion. It's not a binary, it's a degree. Then yeah, as you add more complexity, it gets crazier, but that's why you have people, so people are the thing that interacts with the system that contains entropy. Interesting. So yeah, we need more people. I'm in the hiring business. All right, so let's get the sales agency. Let's hit some people up. Let's see if we can get other closers. Let's see if we can get a media buyer. Let's see if I can get out of this. And because that's what I would do. Like, if I had done this 10 times or whatever, I'd be like, okay, month 1, we're going to get to 0 to 1. We're going to outsource sales, and then we're going to outsource this, and then we're going to get this person, then we're going to install this key role, and we're just going to layer them in. And I just move through the bottlenecks. Like, I'm phasing in and out of all the bottlenecks and then just debottlenecking them. And then I become the orchestrator. So that begs the question, what's the constraint in the business right now? We haven't even maxed out capacity. The constraint in the business is not adequate throughput. So let's go crazy with the throughput, double capacity, increase throughput again, get someone else to take my place for onboarding, and then have me ensure that it's not a leaky bucket on the back end. So no churn happens where people just go, hey, it's not that interesting. It's, oh, wow, this is really cool. We do that, we win. So if I had done this 10 times over, what would I do? Yeah, I think I would get the sales agency conversation going, and it would force me to figure out how to get the ads going. Yeah, we need more salespeople. We need more leads, and I need an onboarding manager. That's it. More salespeople, more leads, but one onboarding manager, and then that's it. And then everything else, like efficiency, solves for itself because someone's gonna bitch. Someone's gonna be like, "This is not the efficient way to do this, Chase." Like people will automatically try to make efficiency gains in any process. Now, could it be as efficient as it could be? No. Oh, so maybe we just remove efficiency from the mental model for a second. Throughput, capacity, price. And capacity isn't even a double because capacity is a constraint. So it's just throughput and then price. So let's launch a bunch of fucking ads, dude. Launch a bunch of fucking ads, charge a shit ton of money, break everything in the process. And this is probably why people say, I know it's a crude term, but retard maxing. Maybe that's what this is. Yeah, you could intellectualize the shit out of it, or just like go make 1,000 ads and talk to a bunch of people and see if they want to work with you. Anyways, those are the thoughts. See ya.